Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to step away from the script. We're going to do kind of just bullet points, and this is going to be a new segment. We're going to be talking about what to expect as a tech. This is the dealership edition. I think I'm going to do 3 parts of this. So meaning dealership, mom and pop shop, and then we'll do like a fleet. So let's get right into it. A little background on me. If you guys haven't watched my videos, I have been a technician for 15 years. I've worked at all those 3 that I've just talked about. My first experience was at a dealership for 3 years, and even though that wasn't a lot of time, it was still pretty good a time to know exactly what I need to know about a dealership. So let's go through the pros, let's go through the cons, and then maybe some tips for success if you really want to just go for a dealership. But I recommend somebody early on in their career to get their feet wet in a dealership. I wouldn't recommend a seasoned technician going back into this field. So yeah, let's get into it. Day-to-day tasks. Let's look at what we got to do as a technician in a dealership. You're gonna come in, and the start of your day will be something as like waiters, simple oil changes, lights, bulbs, tire rotation, you name it. Just something to get out the way. And then after that's done, it's usually the morning. You'll have like diagnosis, repairs, maintenance, recalls, warranty work. If the shop is slow, you'll be sweeping that shop. So just a little bit of everything. And it's not uncommon to get 2 jobs at once, depending on how fast you work and if your foreman knows how fast you work. So don't be discouraged if you're also in like 4 jobs that need parts, because that's a thing. You'll diagnose a car and the parts won't be there the entire time. You'll have to order the parts. And now you're sitting on four cars in the lot, and you're at 16 hours, and it's Wednesday, and you're freaking out. Like I gotta get my time done. So that's something you could really just expect. It's a very fast-paced work environment. You're not sitting around, like I said. You'll be doing something. They want you to be doing something because that's just how a dealership works and it functions. And you have to bring your own tools. I know I heard, and I'm not too sure about it, some fancy high-end shops, they will provide tools, but I mean, every shop I've ever seen and been to, it's always been your tools, except for the specialty tools that they provide. But if a little rule of thumb, I would say just don't go and spend $12,000 on a Snap-on toolkit. Don't do any of that. If you're starting off new, you're probably going to be on hourly. Just buy like an Icon set from Harbor Freight. Spend a couple $100 there, and it's his lifetime warranty. I bought them. I've used them. They work fine. Just don't listen to what the other people say. You're not going to be a better tech because of your tools. So basically, the type of people you'll be working with outside your fellow technicians, you will have your dispatcher who dispatches you work. You have your parts guy that will order you parts, your service manager that will oversee everything, and then you will have your service writer, who will be either your best or worst friend. The service writer is the median between you and the customer. You do not talk to the customer directly. They will get you sales and communicate what is wrong with the customer's vehicle for you. So like I said, they could be their best friend or they could be your worst enemy. It depends on how good he is. All right, so let's look at the pros and cons of working in a dealership. Let's look at the pros first, because I'm hard on dealerships, but there is some pros. And I want to get them over, like structured training. Basically, this is probably some of the best training you will get as a technician. They will send you out to school. You will get certified to work on the cars that are in the dealership. And then they pay for it all too, so it's like it's an added bonus. It's like a vacation, a learning vacation. It's great. I've been to classes that aren't dealership specific, and they're just kind of like, they're nice, but like I never felt like I learned more than when I was in a dealership training class. Another thing is you'll be working on these same vehicles. Now, there won't be the same exact vehicles, but a lot of these vehicles will carry over the same exact problems, the same repairs, the same diagnostics. You'll get into a rhythm when you know, like, okay, this 2-liter engine has this certain problem, and it's been an issue, but now that problem spans onto 4 vehicles. So when the check engine light comes on, that code pops up. You're already ahead of the game. And I don't want to say you'll be working on new cars all the time, but the benefit of working on new cars is less rust, less more parts availability usually in a perfect scenario, and career advancement. I think when you're getting your feet wet working as a technician, the best thing to do is start at a dealership. Dealership will provide well on your resume. People like seeing that when you're stepping out and going to a fleet, because they know you have factory training, and they know there's a certain way that dealerships have a diagnostic process. So those are some of the pros. Let's look at the cons now, because there's a couple cons that I really don't like as a dealership, and where I would tell seasoned techs to stray away from. And the first one is the flat rate system, because I really just think it's a scam. People will fight me on that, and go ahead, this is my opinion. Basically, flat rate, for those who do not know, very simple, is now this 4-hour brake job's coming in. All right, if I do this 4-hour brake job, which will pay 4 hours, it's book time, wherever they get the book from. It's usually the dealership that writes it down. Book time will be... I'm sorry, did I say book time? Messed up. Anyway, the dealership will make the times for the repairs. That's not the important part. The important part is you getting ahead of the time. So if the 4-hour brake job, let's say, you do in 2 hours, well, now you still get paid the 4 hours, and now you have 2 hours of time to get advanced. So that's where it can happen. But now you have the dynamic of favoritism in the shop, the politics in the shop. If the lead tech is buddy with the service advisor, he's just going to give him all the gravy work, or the dispatcher, he's going to give him all the gravy work. Gravy work is the easy job that pays a lot. Little shop lingo there, but that's something you got to look for. There's always, and I found that in my dealership job, and the people would come and go. There was never like a guy who was there for 20 years. It's always just favoritism and money chasing, and people that just hustle, and it drives me absolutely mad. And that's where the animosity comes for a lot of the technicians you work with. I remember, if you need, say you need a vehicle pushed out because now it doesn't run, you're waiting on parts, and you're getting some people to help you push it out, you just hear just the groans, like just man-child, whining. I need to do this. I remember we used to have meetings where it would be 10 minutes, and people are still working. I don't need this meeting. It's yeah, I get it, but I don't have to work that. I don't have to work at that. I don't want to have to be busting my back every day just trying to make time. It's not good for anyone's health. And another thing, just work-life balance. I mean, I've worked almost every weekend at a dealership, and I went from hourly flat rate. I went from a D-Tech oil change guy to freaking B-Tech, and I was still working weekends, and there was plenty other people below me. Holidays, I hate working Black Fridays. I used to work every Black Friday. I didn't have nearly enough days off. It was just, and then new cars. That's another thing too. I'll say, I've talked about it forever. New cars are being such a pain to work on, and warranty work for them has gotten lower and lower with every new car. So you're constantly chasing to get ahead. So that's really the cons there. But if you're looking to get into just being an auto mechanic, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I think dealership, if you get into a dealership job, you spend no more than 5 years, because you'll probably hate it after the second year, and just kind of grind toward getting certifications and getting some experience. Then almost any other shop, fleet, mom and pop, will want you, because there's just a good dynamic of having dealership training. So yeah, that's my little 2 cents on a dealership. If you guys like this type of video, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know your experience in a dealership. And always, comment, subscribe. And I thank you guys for watching and tuning in. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.